What if I told you that one three-digit number could save you tens of thousands of dollars over your freelance career? And most freelancers are completely ignoring it. Today, I am going to show you exactly how to build an 800-plus credit score as a freelancer, even with irregular income. Welcome to the Freelancer's Wealth Blueprint, where we turn your skills into long-term wealth. If you have been struggling to get approved for a mortgage, a business loan, or even a decent credit card because you do not have a W-2, this episode is going to change the game for you. Let us start with why this matters so much for freelancers specifically. Your credit score is not just a number. It determines whether you get approved for a mortgage when you want to buy a home. It affects the interest rates on business loans when you want to grow. It impacts your insurance premiums in most states. It can even determine whether a landlord waives your security deposit or charges you 2 months up front. And here's the thing. As a freelancer, you are already at a disadvantage. Lenders want to see W-2s and steady paychecks. They typically want 2 years of tax returns from self-employed borrowers. So having an exceptional credit score is not just nice to have. It is essential leverage. Now let us talk about where you stand. FICO scores range from 300 to 850. Poor is 300 to 579. Fair is 580 to 669. Good is 670 to 739. Very good is 740 to 799. And exceptional is 800 to 850. The national average sits around 717. Only about 24% of Americans have an exceptional score of 800 or above. By the end of this video, you are going to have a clear roadmap to join that top 24%. Let us break down the 5 factors that make up your FICO score. Factor number 1 is payment history, and it accounts for 35% of your score. This is the single biggest factor. One missed payment can drop your score by over 100 points and stay on your report for 7 years. As a freelancer with irregular income, this is where autopay becomes tricky. My recommendation is to set up autopay for the minimum payment on every single account. This is your safety net. Then manually pay the full balance when your client payments come in. This way, you never miss a payment even during a slow month. Factor number 2 is amounts owed, which makes up 30%. This is primarily about your credit utilization ratio. Most people know to keep it under 30%. But here is the insider tip. People with 800-plus scores typically keep their utilization under 10%. If you have a credit limit of $10,000, try to keep your balance under $1,000 at any given time. One strategy is to make multiple payments throughout the month rather than waiting for the statement date. This keeps your reported utilization low even if you are charging a lot to your cards. Factor number 3 is length of credit history at 15%. This is why you should never close your oldest credit card even if you do not use it anymore. That old card from college is actually helping your score. Put a small recurring subscription on it, set up autopay, and let it quietly boost your average account age. Another powerful strategy is to become an authorized user on a family member's old credit card. If your parent has a card they have had for 20 years with perfect payment history, being added as an authorized user can instantly add that history to your credit profile. Factor number 4 is credit mix at 10%. FICO likes to see you can handle different types of credit. This includes revolving credit like credit cards, installment loans like a car payment, and potentially a mortgage. For freelancers, getting a business credit card is a 2-for-1 win. It separates your business expenses from personal spending, which is great for taxes, and it adds to your credit mix. Many business cards report to personal credit bureaus too, so you are building both profiles simultaneously. Factor number 5 is new credit at 10%. Every time you apply for credit, the lender does a hard inquiry that can lower your score by 5 to 10 points. These stay on your report for 2 years. Be strategic about applications. Do not apply for 3 credit cards in the same month just because you saw good sign-up bonuses. Space out your applications and only apply when you genuinely need the credit. Now let me give you the step-by-step action plan. Step 1. Go to annualcreditreport.com right now. Pull your reports from all 3 bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. This is completely free once per year. Review every single line. If you find errors, and studies show that about 1 in 5 credit reports contain errors, dispute them immediately with the bureau. Correcting errors can give you an instant score boost. Step 2. Set up autopay for minimum payments on every account today. Do not wait. This protects your payment history, which is your biggest scoring factor. Step 3. Calculate your current credit utilization across all cards. If you are above 10%, make a payment right now to bring it down. Step 4. Identify your oldest credit account and make sure it stays open and active. Step 5. If you do not have a business credit card, research options that report to personal credit bureaus and apply for one that fits your spending patterns. Here is the timeline you can expect. In the first 30 days, you should see improvements from correcting errors and lowering utilization. Within 3 to 6 months, your consistent payment history starts compounding. Within 6 to 12 months, your score should be climbing steadily. And within 1 to 2 years of disciplined credit management, that 800+ score becomes very achievable. One last thing I want to mention. Building credit is a marathon, not a sprint. There are no legitimate shortcuts. Anyone promising to boost your score overnight is running a scam. But the strategies I just shared are the exact same ones that the 24% of Americans with exceptional credit use every single day. If this video helped you see credit in a new light, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss our next episode where we keep building your freelance wealth, one strategy at a time. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute tax advice. Consult a qualified tax professional for guidance specific to your situation.